I'm working on this little Massey Ferguson 1240 compact tractor. These are made in Japan by Iseki. You might recognize this one. I put a clutch in it a couple of years ago. It's back. The clutch is fine, but he's got a problem with the brakes. So the customer complaint is that the brakes get stuck on. So they work, and you can push the pedal, but then they won't come back up. And if you reach down and pull them up, the brakes will release. So the problem seems to be either in the pedal itself or in whatever kind of linkage goes down to the brake drums. And I already kind of had it torn apart just to see if I could figure out what was going on. And I think I've got an idea what the problem is. There's a shaft that goes kind of all the way through, and the clutch pedal, the steering column pivot, and the brake pedals all pivot on that shaft, and it's nicely protected underneath this cowling, so it's out of the weather. But it's not entirely protected, as you're about to see. Come on. So if we pull out the instrument panel, you can see that it is not protected from our fuzzy little friends, the rodents. So it looks to me like they set up shop in here. They had themselves a little snack on the instrument panel wiring harness. But the big problem is they turned their breakfast suite into a bathroom, and that dripped right down onto the pivots for the brake pedals. So we need to do some eviction, and then once we get rid of our stowaways, we got to figure out how to free up those brake pedals. The steering column's also frozen. I believe it should adjust. It should tilt, but it does not. And I can't get this cowling off because this Phillips head screw right here is stripped out. So that's the kind of the first challenge to deal with. I've tried screwdrivers, I've tried impact drivers, I've tried vice grips. This'll work, I guarantee it. Well, there might be an easier way. Hang on. Well, that certainly opens things up. You may have noticed there's two brake pedals. That's typical for a tractor. There's a separate brake pedal for each rear wheel. So if you want to turn hard to the right, you turn the steering wheel all the way and then push down the right brake pedal, and it'll stop that wheel and help pull you around. Also helps if you're stuck. You can stop the wheel that's spinning. Anyway, looks like the right brake pedal goes right down to this linkage. The left brake pedal is actually pinned to a shaft that goes all the way through, and then there's a linkage on the other side. So I think actually that the left brake pedal is okay. The problem is the right one is stuck on the shaft. So we need to try and get this. Boy, that looks pretty scary. Get that snap ring off there and see if we can pull that pedal off and clean out all the rust. The rodents really did a number on it. And then this pedal here is to tilt the steering wheel. It's frozen up too. So Yeah, let's just kind of see what we can do. All right, that thing might even survive. So the problem is I don't think I can heat it up because there's a plastic bushing in there. We're just gonna melt it. I doubt very highly I can get a new one. It might just be a matter of working it.
Like a mouse nest.
That is a mouse nest. Alright, so this pedal's stuck. First, I guess, let's see, can you push it down?
I'm assuming it shouldn't be this hard.
No, it shouldn't be that hard. Okay, well that puts a kink in my plans. I was going to have you push it down and then I was going to pry it back up.
Can you push it down? Oh, I got it!
Okay, keep going all the way. Okay.
Is it all the way down?
Yep.
Now what am I supposed to be doing?
Let go. Alright, I'm just going to keep doing that. Back and forth. Okay, hold up.
I might need a new knee after this.
The good news is we only have to do this about 300 times.
What the hell are we doing? And why? And there's got to be an easier way.
I can't think of any other way.
295 more times?
Something along those lines. It's coming off.
Is it supposed to come off or just loosen up?
If I can get it all the way off, I can sand it or whatever. Yeah, it's definitely moving off.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Typical summer storms.
I don't know.
I don't look at the radar close enough.
Cover your ears. Ha! All right, Chica. That's what we needed right there. Rodents.
That just can't be just because of a mouse.
Definitely because of a mouse. I don't know if we'll ever get that pin out of there to get that thing out. There. Good enough for now. Ah, it just bends it. Well, there's the pin, but now my punch is stuck in there. Looks like a tapered pin, but I guess I'm not 100% sure. Alright, now I gotta get that thing off there. Ah, thank God. All right, now we got to push that out the other end. There. That's the pivot for the pedal that latches the steering column. I didn't even try. I'm gonna punch a hole right through that thing before it comes off there. All right, it's starting to get a little complicated. Probably should have done that to start with. Pretty much mangled it. Still didn't get it apart. Gotta be kidding me. Oh. Oh my God. Holy crap. That might have been one of the hardest ones I've ever had to get apart. I hate rodents. That's all it needed. That's crazy. All right, well, better straighten some of these brackets that I bent, I guess. The power of rust is just unbelievable. A few tenths of a millimeter of oxidation on the inside of this sleeve turns it from an easy pivot to never coming apart again. Unbelievable. All right, everything's cleaned up and ready to go back together, but unfortunately I pretty much destroyed this pivoting mechanism. So we're gonna have to weld a bunch of this stuff back together and probably clean up a few things on the pedals too. So yeah, let's do that. MIG welder's still on the fritz, so we're gonna have to go old school. Let's see if we can put this contraption back together with a liberal application of grease, because I do not want to do this again. What a chore. It wouldn't be a proper Watch Wes work video without some wiring repairs. Let's see what we can do here. Just the insulation, they didn't chew through the conductors. Five here and then 2 up here to fix. Could have been a lot worse. And it's beautiful now. We had the remnants of Hurricane Beryl, or Tropical Storm Beryl, I think that's what it's called, come rolling through. Blew down some big branches over at the neighbor's place, but no damage here. The only real problem we have is the bugs. The black flies have just been brutal this year. Normally they show up about, I don't know, sometime in early May, and they're gone by the end of June. They're still holding on strong. I think that'll work. Now the damage on these two is pretty minimal, and that's blocked off anyway. So I think we're just going to cover it with some liquid electrical tape. It's a little hacky, but at this point I don't think anybody really cares. I gotta say, there is a lot going on in this section of the tractor. We've got a steering column that tilts, 2 brake pedals, a brake lock pedal, a clutch pedal, a throttle linkage. I don't know what this bottom cable does. Something for cold start maybe? I don't know. And then this lever over here is forward and reverse for the transmission. Plus you got wiring. It's very busy. Anyway, we're almost home free here. The last step is to install the pin that pins the left side brake pedal to the through shaft. And it is a tapered pin. So you don't see those a lot in tractors and automotive applications, but they're super common in machine tools. So I'm actually pretty well set up to install them. I've got a number 7 taper pin reamer, and I ordered an extra long number 7 taper pin. It's really confusing working with taper pins, especially because there are inch size and metric size. In the inch size, I believe they're spec'd by the large diameter end, And then the longer the pin you get, the skinnier it gets on the end. The metric pins have a different taper, so they're not interchangeable. And they're also backwards. They're spec'd by the small end, and then as the pin gets longer, it gets bigger. Anyway, I hope we can ream that out, and then I'll cut this off, and we'll have what we need. So let's give it a shot. So I thought about using a roll pin, a spring pin. They used one down here on this brake lock. I think the tapered pin would be a little bit stronger, but I don't really see what a problem would be with a roll pin. One thing I found with reaming tapered pins, it's very easy to go too far. It's kind of a tricky operation. So I've seen in some applications where they actually have a set screw kind of opposite of the taper pin to hold everything together while you drill and ream it. As long as you get the fits right, when you drive the pin in, it's essentially a self-locking taper. I think that'll work. All right, I'm going to cut that off and we'll drive it in. That's it. Now let's give them a quick shot of grease. There it is. At least having the grease in there from the start should help prevent this problem from happening again. Cool. Man, what an incredible amount of work. I don't even know how to build this job. Honestly, I probably got over 12 hours in it up to this point. Okay, we'll put the plastic back on and we'll be done. Let's put it all the way down. So much easier now that the steering column tilts. So much easier. Yeah, they are really bad today.
Yeah. So many bugs.
So many bugs. All right, lady. You remember how to do this?
No.
You have driven this before. I have video evidence of that
I'm
fact.
pretty sure that was like 3 years ago.
I think so too.
That's like the last time I was on a tractor.
All right, it will not start without the glow plugs. So you're gonna have to turn the key backwards for a few seconds. That's probably good. All right, now push the clutch down. All the way? All the way. Yep, and then start it up.
Get it?
That's fine. You want to go faster?
No, not really. I killed it.
All right, that might be a little too fast.
I told you no.
I think that's the highest gear. Let's try that one. All right. You're too short.
I know
He's got the seat propped all the way back. He's a big guy.
No one's too short. All right, what do I do?
Start. All right, go forward. Guess he's going to town. I don't know. Hey, with your right hand, push that lever forward. Other one. Is that your right hand? No.
What are you saying? That lever. There's too many levers.
fine. Stop right there. Shut it off.
You know when I was over there just cruising around, minding my own business? That was a good time.
Yeah, but Max was scared.
That's not my fault. This is a really nice little tractor. I really do like it, even though I don't know how to drive it.
I like it too. Apparently the mice like it also.
Yep. Oh gosh, these bugs.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.
Here's some bonus footage, sort of post-apocalyptic inventor style. My in-laws gave me this vintage Craftsman circular saw, made in the USA, of all places. Just one little problem. Yeah, it doesn't work. Now, these things are super, super simple. So I feel like we should be able to find the problem. The switch has a nice snap to it, and indeed it does have continuity, so I don't think that's the problem. So the power is not making it to the brushes. And the way they connect the leads to the field winding is pretty cheesy. It just has these kind of shark bite connectors, like a Scotch lock. And this one apparently was not installed correctly. And whatever machine they used to stake the wire, it bent the little leg over on top of the other leg. So there was no way for it to pierce the insulation properly.
Well, there's your problem. Manufacturing defect.
The fix was pretty simple. Unfortunately, I forgot to record it. I just soldered the lead wire right to the field winding wire and then jammed it back in the holder. The bearing was pretty crusty, so I popped the shield out, scraped out the old grease, and packed it with some new. I kind of mangled the shield, so it probably needs a new bearing, but I don't think this is going to be a frontline tool. It'll be more of a backup. Yeah, incredibly simple. There's no capacitors, no inductors, no passive electronics of any kind. There's a switch, 2 windings, and some brushes. Well, that's not gonna work. Saved from the scrap bin. Craftsman circular saw. Thanks for watching.